The shadow of betrayal looms heavy as Jesus faces the darkest night of his life, a night filled with heart-wrenching prayer, unwavering faith, and the heartbreaking kiss that will change everything. In The Chosen Season 5, Episode 8, we are drawn deep into Jesus' final hours before his arrest, a powerful journey that reveals the raw human struggle beneath the divine mission, the courage it takes to face the inevitable, and the devastating cost of betrayal from the one closest to him. This episode opens with a flashback that immediately pulls us into a quieter moment long before the turmoil, a glimpse into Jesus' invitation to Thaddeus, the stonemason disciple. The simple act of working side by side at a humble construction site contrasts sharply with the monumental destiny unfolding. Jesus speaks not of earthly rewards, but of something eternal, a kingdom not built by hands, a family bound not by blood but by spirit. His words to Thaddeus are more than recruitment. They are a promise of a purpose greater than any earthly task, a call to be part of a movement that will change the world. The sincerity in Jesus' voice, the vivid description of the disciples, as imperfect yet fiercely devoted people, sets a deeply emotional tone that resonates through the episode. It serves as a stark counterpoint to Judas's later choice, making the betrayal that much more poignant. The theme of faith tested, loyalty questioned, and the price of discipleship is woven tightly into this opening, setting the emotional stakes. The story swiftly moves back to the present night in the Garden of Gethsemane, a place heavy with spiritual weight and imminent danger. Jesus, exhausted and anguished, asks Peter, James, and John to stay awake and pray with him. They struggle to comprehend the depth of his torment. His prayer is not a quiet, stoic surrender, but a raw, desperate plea to his Father. A moment of profound vulnerability that reveals the fully human side of Jesus. He begs for the cup of suffering to pass, if possible, wrestling openly with fear and sorrow. Yet, despite his anguish, he ultimately submits to God's will, repeating the haunting phrase, "Not my will, but yours be done." This scene is heartrending, the emotional intensity palpable, capturing the eternal conflict between human frailty and divine destiny. While Jesus wrestles with his fate, the political and religious wheels turn with increasing urgency. The episode explores the uneasy mind of Pontius Pilate, who senses the gravity of Jesus' presence in Jerusalem yet cannot fully grasp the meaning. His wife, Claudia, tormented by ominous dreams, adds a chilling layer of foreshadowing to the night's events. Meanwhile, the Sanhedrin's illegal nocturnal gathering reveals deep divisions and fears among the religious leaders. Nicodemus's unexpected arrival hints at an internal conflict within the council and raises the stakes for the coming confrontation. These intertwined plots of faith, power, and fear create a complex backdrop, enriching the narrative with suspense and anticipation. At the heart of the episode lies Judas's tragic decision, the slow unraveling of loyalty that will forever mark history. After agreeing to betray Jesus, Judas faces the agonizing task of signaling Jesus' identity to the temple guards without sparking chaos. The tension is suffocating as the audience waits for the inevitable, the kiss that signifies the ultimate betrayal. The moment is approached with care and heartbreak, underscored by the hymn "Flee as a Bird," whose lyrics echo themes of sin, forgiveness, and salvation. Judas's act is not just a plot point, but a devastating emotional climax, one that invites viewers to feel the weight of his choice and the tragedy it unleashes. As Jesus prays repeatedly, his emotional state shifts from resistance to acceptance, supported by visions that hint at resurrection and hope even in the darkest hour. The brief comfort of Joseph's presence grounds Jesus, reminding him and us of the human ties that sustain him. When he returns to find his disciples asleep, yet no longer rebukes them, there is a calm resolve. The hour has come. The episode closes with Judas's betrayal, the disciples bracing to protect their teacher, and Jesus meeting his betrayer with heartbreaking tenderness. This powerful finale encapsulates themes of courage, faith, sacrifice, and the profound pain of betrayal, leaving viewers on the edge, ready for the trial and crucifixion to come. The Chosen Season 5, Episode 8 transforms a familiar. In this pivotal episode, the complex human emotions and divine purpose collide, revealing layers of Jesus' character that many have only glimpsed in Scripture, but never so vividly experienced. The opening flashback to Jesus recruiting Thaddeus is more than a simple moment of connection. It is a profound exploration of leadership, faith, and vision. Jesus, working humbly alongside a stonemason, offers an invitation that transcends ordinary labor. He asks Thaddeus to join him, not for wealth or earthly gain, but for a kingdom not built by hands, an enduring legacy that will outlast even the mightiest stone or cedar. The metaphor here is powerful. Physical structures, no matter how skillful the craftsmanship, eventually decay. But the kingdom Jesus speaks of is eternal, founded on faith, love, and sacrifice. This sets the thematic tone for the entire episode, a meditation on what truly lasts, what is worth sacrificing everything for, and the difficult path that discipleship often demands. Jesus' words are infused with honesty and compassion, acknowledging the hardships ahead, being loved and hated, needed and lost, adored and rejected. This raw truth grounds the spiritual message in real human experience, making it accessible and relatable. Thaddeus's initial skepticism, questioning payment and practicality, mirrors the doubts many feel when called to something greater than themselves. And Jesus' response, "There is no earthly payment, but a place and a family of blood bonds," offers a compelling alternative, belonging and purpose over material reward. The scene beautifully contrasts with the later betrayal by Judas, highlighting the different ways people respond to the same call, some with courage and hope, others with fear and greed. This opening flashback serves as a poignant reminder of the power of faith to inspire and the tragic consequences when it is turned away from returning to the present. The atmosphere in the Garden of Gethsemane is thick with tension and sorrow. Jesus' spiritual anguish is palpable as he enters a deeper phase of his prayer. His distress is not hidden but fully exposed. He weeps openly, pleading with God to let this cup pass if possible. This moment humanizes Jesus profoundly. He is not a distant divine figure resigned to fate, but a man wrestling with fear, pain, and uncertainty. The vulnerability displayed here invites viewers to connect with Jesus on an emotional level. Understanding that even the Son of God faced moments of profound crisis, the intercut visions of Abraham and Isaac walking toward sacrifice deepen the emotional and theological resonance, creating a parallel that underscores the gravity of what Jesus is about to face. Unlike Isaac, who was spared, Jesus knows his path leads to suffering and death. His repeated refrain, "Not my will, but yours be done," captures the essence of his struggle. The tension between human desire to avoid pain and the divine commitment to fulfill a greater purpose. This internal battle is the heart of the episode, portrayed with sensitivity and power that elevates the story beyond mere retelling. The disciples, meanwhile, fail to grasp the seriousness of the moment. Their inability to stay awake, despite Jesus' plea, highlights human weakness and foreshadows Peter's later denial. Jesus' gentle rebuke, "You couldn't watch with me for 1 hour," is both a moment of disappointment and compassion, recognizing their struggle while emphasizing the spiritual discipline needed to face temptation. This interaction adds layers to the narrative, showing the gap between understanding and experience, faith and human frailty simultaneously. The episode weaves in the political and religious tensions simmering in Jerusalem. Pontius Pilate emerges as a figure torn between duty and unease. His dialogue reveals a man unsettled by forces beyond his control. Sensing that Jesus' presence heralds a reckoning he cannot fully explain or embrace, Pilate's discomfort humanizes him, portraying him not as a simple villain but as a complex character caught in historical currents. His wife Claudia's prophetic nightmares add a chilling dimension to the unfolding drama. Her warnings to Pilate, spoken with dread, serve as ominous foreshadowing and deepen the suspense. The episode skillfully balances these political threads with the spiritual narrative, illustrating how earthly power struggles intersect with divine plans. The illegal Sanhedrin meeting, held at night on a holy day, reveals the desperation and fear gripping the religious leaders. Caiaphas's insistence on convening despite objections underscores the urgency they feel to stop Jesus. The debate about whether Jesus truly fits the messianic criteria exposes their doubts and insecurities, while Nicodemus's unexpected arrival introduces a potential voice of reason or mercy within their ranks. This subplot enriches the episode's tension, hinting at fractures within the Jewish leadership that will influence the coming events. The careful attention to political and religious detail enhances the story's realism and heightens the stakes, reminding viewers that the narrative unfolds not just as spiritual drama but also as historical conflict. At the center of this web of tension is Judas's fateful choice. His betrayal is approached with subtlety and care, building suspense as the episode explores the psychological turmoil behind his decision. The audience is made to feel the weight of Judas's internal conflict without overt judgment, allowing for a nuanced portrayal of a man caught between loyalty, fear, and greed. The question of how he will identify Jesus to the temple guards creates a palpable sense of dread. When the moment of the kiss arrives, it is charged with tragic inevitability, an act that is at once intimate and devastating. The hymn "Flee" as a bird that accompanies this scene adds emotional depth, its lyrics echoing themes of sin, forgiveness, and salvation, underscoring the complex nature of Judas's betrayal. This carefully constructed climax resonates deeply, evoking empathy and sorrow. It forces viewers to confront the painful reality of human frailty and the costs of betrayal, themes that echo through the episode's spiritual and political layers. Throughout the episode, Jesus' emotional journey is portrayed with remarkable depth. His prayers evolve from resistance and fear to acceptance and resolve, supported by visions that offer hope amid despair. The vision of the Valley of Dry Bones from Ezekiel, symbolizing resurrection and renewal, strengthens Jesus' spirit as he prepares for the trials ahead. The comforting presence of Joseph, his earthly father, offers a moment of human tenderness amid the storm. These elements provide a balanced portrayal of divine mission and human experience, emphasizing that Jesus' path is both a spiritual calling and a deeply personal struggle. When he returns to the disciples and finds them asleep again, his response is no longer one of frustration but quiet acceptance. The hour has come. His calm declaration, "The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners," signals a readiness to face what lies ahead. This measured resolve contrasts with the chaos and fear surrounding him, highlighting Jesus' unique strength and purpose. The episode closes on this tense, emotional note, leaving viewers eager to witness the unfolding trial and crucifixion while reflecting on themes of courage, faith, betrayal, and sacrifice that resonates far beyond the biblical narrative. The Chosen Season 5, Episode 8 transforms familiar scripture into a gripping human drama, inviting audiences into the heart of a story about love, loss, and the enduring power of faith. The emotional gravity of the Chosen Season 5 Episode 8 continues to deepen as it moves beyond the garden and into the looming storm of betrayal and arrest, capturing not only the spiritual anguish of Jesus but also the complex interplay of human motives and frailties surrounding him. This episode masterfully balances the personal and the political, the intimate and the public, creating a tapestry of tension that feels both timeless and immediate. Jesus' vulnerability in prayer stands in stark contrast to the cold calculation of those who seek to end his ministry. The political maneuverings of Pontius Pilate and the Sanhedrin illuminate the fear and uncertainty, gripping Jerusalem's leadership, revealing their desperate attempts to control a rapidly unraveling situation. Pilate's inner turmoil adds a layer of complexity rarely explored in such depth. He is portrayed not simply as a ruthless authority figure, but as a man disturbed by forces he neither understands nor can command. His wife Claudia's ominous dreams introduce a supernatural undertone, hinting that the events unfolding are part of a larger cosmic battle, and her warnings heighten the sense of dread and inevitability. Meanwhile, the Sanhedrin's nighttime meeting underscores the sense of crisis within the religious establishment, exposing fractures and conflicting loyalties. Nicodemus's unexpected challenge to Caiaphas's authority hints at internal dissent, suggesting that not all are united in their opposition to Jesus. This political subplot weaves seamlessly with the spiritual narrative, enhancing the suspense and raising the stakes as the episode moves toward its climax. At the heart of this unfolding tragedy is Judas Iscariot's betrayal, a moment laden with profound emotional complexity. The episode approaches Judas's decision with careful nuance, avoiding caricature or simple villainy. Instead, it presents Judas as a man wrestling with his choices, caught between fear, disillusionment, and a tragic misunderstanding of his role. The tension around how Judas will identify Jesus to the temple guards is palpable, building a slow-burning dread that grips the viewer. The betrayal kiss is handled with heartbreaking tenderness and sorrow, underscored by the haunting hymn "Flee" as a bird, which resonates with themes of sin, forgiveness, and redemption. This moment is the emotional fulcrum of the episode, embodying the pain of broken trust and the devastating consequences of betrayal. It challenges viewers to consider the human capacity for both love and failure, inviting empathy even as it confronts the harsh realities of history. Meanwhile, Jesus' prayers in the garden reveal a man caught in the struggle between divine mission and human fear. His repeated entreaties to God to let this cup pass if possible show his very real desire to avoid suffering. Yet his ultimate surrender to God's will reflects a profound faith and courage. The interwoven visions during his prayer from Abraham and Isaac to the Valley of Dry Bones in Ezekiel enriched the narrative with powerful symbolism, connecting Jesus' experience to the broader themes of sacrifice, resurrection, and hope. These visions serve not only as spiritual encouragement, but also as narrative devices that deepen the emotional resonance of the episode. The comfort Jesus receives from the vision of Joseph, his earthly father, adds a humanizing touch, reminding viewers of Jesus' dual nature as both divine and human, and the personal relationships that sustain him even in his darkest moments. The disciples' repeated failure to stay awake and support Jesus during his agony further illustrates human weakness and the challenge of faith. Their sleepiness and distractions serve as poignant reminders that even those closest to Jesus struggled to fully grasp the magnitude of what was happening. Jesus' gentle admonition, "Couldn't you watch with me for 1 hour?" captures the bittersweet nature of this moment, disappointment tempered by compassion. This interaction highlights the theme of spiritual vigilance versus human frailty, setting the stage for the upcoming trials. The disciples' confusion and fear as the arrest begins further emphasize their vulnerability, contrasting sharply with Jesus' calm acceptance of his fate. The final moments of the episode are crafted for maximum emotional impact. As the temple guards approach, led by Judas, the tension is almost unbearable. The disciples instinctively gather around Jesus, ready to protect him. Yet the power of the unfolding events feels unstoppable. Jesus' address to Judas, "My friend, do what you came to do," is delivered with heartbreaking tenderness, a testament to his love even in the face of betrayal. This line encapsulates the profound grace and forgiveness that define Jesus' character throughout the series. The episode's closing is a masterclass in emotional storytelling, leaving viewers suspended in a moment of intense drama and sorrow. The combination of intimate character moments, rich symbolism, and political intrigue makes this episode not just a recounting of biblical events, but a deeply human story about faith, sacrifice, and the cost of following a higher calling. By transforming these well-known biblical moments into a suspenseful, emotionally charged narrative, The Chosen Season 5, Episode 8 invites viewers to experience the final hours of Jesus' freedom with fresh eyes. The episode's careful pacing and layered storytelling ensure that the weight of every decision, every prayer, and every betrayal is felt deeply. It is a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, the intensity and emotional depth of The Chosen Season 5 Episode 8 reach their peak as the episode explores not only the unfolding events but the profound spiritual and human realities beneath them. Jesus' final hours before his arrest are not just a series of historical moments retold, they become a living, breathing drama filled with raw emotion, spiritual conflict, and heartbreaking choices. The episode captures the full spectrum of Jesus' experience in the Garden of Gethsemane, a place heavy with sorrow, courage, and ultimate surrender. His prayer is depicted not as a ritual, but as a deeply personal and agonizing dialogue with God. The words, "Not my will, but yours be done," are repeated throughout, echoing the central theme of submission to divine purpose despite human fear and desire for relief. This refrain anchors the emotional core of the episode, highlighting the tension between Jesus' human vulnerability and his divine mission. The tears, the cries, the moments of silence all create a powerful atmosphere that invites viewers into the intimate turmoil Jesus endures as he prepares to face unimaginable suffering. The episode's portrayal of this spiritual battle is nothing short of breathtaking, conveying the depth of Jesus' struggle in a way that feels immediate and deeply relatable. Parallel to Jesus' prayer, the episode expands on the political and social turmoil swirling around him. The Sanhedrin's secret meeting, held under cover of night and on a holy day, reveals the desperation of the religious leaders who see Jesus as a threat to their power and traditions. Caiaphas's justification of the illegal gathering as a national emergency underscores the gravity of their fear. The heated debates within the council expose the divisions and insecurities that plague them. Nicodemus's intervention adds a layer of complexity, showing that not all leaders are united in their opposition to Jesus. His challenge to the assembly's legality suggests an internal conflict between conscience and politics, faith and fear. These dynamics heighten the tension and set the stage for the dramatic confrontations to come. Meanwhile, Pontius Pilate's character is given new depth as his internal struggle unfolds. His unease and fear about Jesus' presence reveal a man caught between his duty as a Roman governor and a sense of something far greater than political control. Claudia's prophetic nightmares and warnings add a chilling supernatural element that suggests the cosmic significance of the night's events. This blending of human politics with spiritual warfare enriches the narrative, making the stakes feel immense and unavoidable. Judas's betrayal remains the emotional centerpiece of the episode. The tension surrounding his decision is handled with nuance and care, avoiding simplistic portrayals. Instead, Judas is shown as a tragic figure, wrestling with fear, disillusionment, and the consequences of his choice. The way the episode slowly builds to the moment of betrayal creates a suspense that is both thrilling and heartbreaking. When Judas finally identifies Jesus with a kiss, it is a moment heavy with sorrow and inevitability. Jesus' tender words to Judas, "My friend, do what you came to do," are a testament to his boundless love and forgiveness, even in the face of profound betrayal. The accompanying hymn "Flee as a Bird" provides a haunting soundtrack that deepens the emotional impact, its lyrics touching on themes of sin, grace, and salvation. This scene crystallizes the episode's exploration of human frailty and divine mercy, forcing viewers to confront the painful reality that love and betrayal can exist side by side. It also sets up the emotional and spiritual fallout that will dominate the next chapters in Jesus' story. The disciples' responses throughout the episode highlight their humanity and vulnerability. Their inability to stay awake and their confusion during the arrest illustrate the profound challenge of following Jesus in moments of crisis. Their fear and uncertainty contrast with Jesus' calm acceptance, underscoring the gap between their understanding and the divine plan unfolding. This dynamic adds emotional texture to the narrative, showing that faith is often messy, imperfect, and fraught with doubt. The episode does not shy away from portraying these weaknesses, but uses them to deepen the realism and emotional resonance of the story. Jesus' gentle rebukes and ultimate acceptance of their limitations reflect a compassion that is both grounding and inspiring. Visions and spiritual symbolism continue to play a crucial role in the episode, offering glimpses of hope amid the darkness. The vision of the Valley of Dry Bones, drawn from Ezekiel, symbolizes resurrection and renewal, suggesting that even in the face of death, life and hope endure. Jesus' vision of Joseph, his earthly father, provides a moment of comfort and connection, reminding viewers of Jesus' dual nature as both fully human and fully divine. These spiritual elements enrich the narrative by connecting the personal drama of Jesus' final hours to the larger themes of redemption and salvation that define Christian theology. They offer reassurance amid despair, emphasizing that the story unfolding is part of a divine plan with a hopeful future. The episode's conclusion, marked by Jesus' declaration that the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners, signals the irreversible turn toward his arrest and trial. This calm acceptance, delivered after intense prayer and reflection, encapsulates the episode's core message of courage, faith, and surrender. The gathering of the disciples around Jesus as Judas approaches adds a final note of tension and anticipation, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. The episode's blend of intimate character moments, political intrigue, and spiritual symbolism creates a rich, multi-layered narrative that resonates deeply. It invites audiences not only to witness but to feel the profound emotional and spiritual